So once I either decide I'm going to start with a square block and drill my holes, or turn it around and then drill my holes, I drill I find the center, which is already there, and this is going to pretend this is a square block that's 6 or 8 or 12 inches long. It doesn't make any difference. I'll pass that around. I drill a hole, or I mark my center. That. And I'll take a compass and I'm going to draw a 1/2 inch radius, 1 inch circle. And where those points intersect, that's where I'm going to drill my holes. So I'll pass this around. And that 5/8 of an inch is where you're going to put a cut that's going to get you down to the holes. Now those holes, as you can see them in there, and the ones that's being passed around, you're going to end up having to put something inside of them called a reed. So you want to end up with about 1/3 of the holes showing. Let's see. There you go. You're going to need to have about 1/3 of the holes showing here. So when you put your reeds in, you'll be able to do it, make the tones. So that's what I'm going to do first, now that I've gotten to that point, because again, everybody can turn the cylinder. I can feel it, but I couldn't hear it. Then you're going to cut a relief in there. I'm going to cut a relief in there down to the holes. And then roughly 60 degrees will work. Seeing my holes yet, so we're good. Got one.
There's a couple on the bottom.
Yep. Couple of them. Yeah. Yep, got a couple of them. They're just almost there.
Why isn't it? Oh, they're not on the same hole circle.
What does that mean when you see two and don't see the other two? Does that mean
it's probably my holes have wandered.
Okay.
And again, it doesn't really affect it. It's not going to affect it a whole heck of a lot. It's going to come out when you sand. So, and the other thing you don't want to do when you're making these things is inhale into the tube. You're going to get a mouthful and a lung full of sawdust.
When you swing that radius for your hole locations, what radius do you use?
I'm using, for this, I'm using a half inch radius, so I've got a 1 inch circle.
Would a little chamfer around the hole hurt it at all?
Probably not, because on this side?
Yeah.
No, not at all, because that's going to be your air chamber anyway. And again, 1/2 inch in this case, and drawing is not going to be great. But you got a fat side and a skinny side, and it's about 1/3 to 2/3. And I'll pass one of those around too. They're really simple. Sand them on the just sander.
And what, are they like just a half piece of wood? How does that work?
I use a dowel rod.
Okay.
And you'll see it as it comes around.
Okay.
It's about 1/3 on one side and 2/3 on the other, and the 2/3 side has to go in the hole first.
Okay.
And if the reeds are coming out easily, and this one is not, I would glue it in.
Okay.
This one's not coming out, so.
So this is not critical, then your angle here from the major to the small diameter?
No, not really. They all seem to work. As long as you're roughly 2/3 on one side and 1/3 on the other side of the dowel.
Okay.
And the length isn't going to make any difference. These I cut off 5/8 of an inch long because my length here is 5/8. All right. If you wanted to go 3/4, cut your reeds to 3/4. If you want to go 1/2 inch, make them 1/2 inch. Yes.
Can you clarify when you put the reed in, and it shows on the other side of the hole, is it the beginning of that hole or the end of that hole?
It's coming out. Let's see. Get the old X-Acto knife.
Turn it around. Maybe you should, there you go.
There you go. It's coming out right to here, to the ship, this edge here. That's the second reed. So you got 2 tones now. And like I said, normally I would glue these in, but they're fitting pretty tight. There's no reason to. They're not going to move, I don't think. It will just continue to insert these. Size of these holes and probably re-drilled it a little bit, but didn't think about that. So I got the third one in. I don't know which one it is now because I didn't mark it. So I got 3 out of 4 so far.
Could you hold one of those reeds up in front of the camera and maybe turn it a little bit? So
Sure.
There's coming around.
It's one's coming around.
yeah, but he's talking fat side and skinny side. I don't want to see.
There's
what we're talking.
That's the skinny
So
side.
it's just cut in half. Huh? Skinny.
Basically, it's cut in half. It's sanded in half, and that's the fat. So I got 4 tones now. I should have done that before. I didn't have to chuck it. Oh well.
Details.
Details. Again, the order you're doing it in doesn't really make a whole lot of difference. You just got to get it done. And that's pretty good. That's going to come off. The cap, it just got a hole in it. Now, sometimes I do a 5/16, sometimes I'll do a 3/8. I don't remember what I put in this one. I think this one's got a 3/8 hole in it. You're going to get a little more air through a 3/8 than you are going to be from a 5/16. It really, again, doesn't make any difference what size you use. And this is a scrap that I had laying around, and I'd like to scrap it. And when I thought about doing this, and it was this morning when I woke up, I go, "You're a dummy. You should have brought the other piece." And again, I forgot it at home. Then I could have put the other half of this on this end and turned it, just to have a different finial on it. And I probably will do that at home anyway. But. So now you got to make an air chamber on this thing. So to do an air chamber, all you're going to do is you're going to chew this out, and you're going to hollow it out a little bit. Pretty close. It actually fits in there. First try.
He sounds like he's surprised.
I am surprised. I mean, it's a little snug, but it does fit. This cuts a little bit better.
After a quicker nudge, he's in that box.
And on the inside, it doesn't make any difference because no one can see that anyway.
If you want a tight fit,
You want a reasonably tight fit, you're still gonna glue it. But you don't want it sliding. I need to make this air chamber a little bit bigger, because I'm not getting enough air through it. You can hear it. So I'm gonna make it just a tad bigger.
You said there was, what, a 3/8 hole?
I think this one has a 3/8, but I don't think I'm quite deep enough into the air chamber to make it work well. And that's just, again, it's just playing around with it till you get one that works.
So really, when you blow, you're blowing through the 3 reeds, right, at the same time?
4 reeds.
4 reeds at the
Four
same
reeds. That's
time.
the idea, is to blow through all 4 reeds at the same time. And I'm going to try to make that just a inch deeper. That you're able to move through. Again, don't inhale. The other thing you could also do, and I didn't bring a drill bit, is just clean out the hole a little bit, and that'll help too. Just put it together. And it's much easier to blow, and you get a much better tone. So at this point, I'm ready to glue. But before I glue, I'm going to do some marking on this thing. I know that first hole that I put in there, the deepest one, is 4.5 inches, 4 3/4, something like that. So I'm going to mark 4.5, or a little. This is my depth. I'm going to make sure I'm well past that depth, because if you're not careful, you'll end up going right through a tube. Done that.
Good.
If you're not careful in what else you're doing, you'll go through the blow tube. Done that. Let's see, is there one? There's one. Oh, this one here I'm going to pass around. Got careless in drilling my holes. Wasn't looking at the drill bit, and I grabbed a 5/8 drill instead of 1/2 inch. So if you look at it, it's got a little creative in there. There's some black walnut dowel rod in there to fill the hole and then re-drill it. A finial on here, or like I said, I'm going to probably cut this off at home and put the other piece of this on here, so I have 2 tones on both ends. Again, didn't think about it when I was in the house, but thought about it in the middle of the night.
Did you say 2 tones?
2 tones.
Yeah, we're going to put this, another piece of this on this end, so I'll have both ends will match for the
Oh, match, okay.
finial. So it'll be 2 tone, two different, cherry and whatever the other wood is. I had no idea. It was scrap that I got out of the silent auction here. So,
it has to get a lot longer, right?
Huh?
It has to get a lot longer.
what does?
Yeah, well, your holes have to be blind holes, right?
Yeah, well, I'm going to end up cutting this off pretty close to here at this point. Tool rust is moving. Not a good, never a good sign when your tool rust is moving. And I'm not going to do any sanding today either, because there's no reason to it. So from about 1/2 inch beyond here, I don't want to touch too much, because my chamber, I can taper it down a little bit, but I know that my air chamber is going to be in that area, and I don't want to get too small. too narrow in there, but I can take a little bit down. Different shapes I just passed around. Not much to it, but there's a lot to it, and a lot of fun to make. Pretty simple, doesn't take a lot of time. And any questions?